Hi Gemini, welcome to your October 2021 General Tarot reading. It's Rena here. I thought I had done your sign. I guess not. I looked on my channel and it wasn't there, so here I go. I just did Aquarius and I was talking about the star card, which is connected to Aquarius, so wow, very interesting. Okay, well, first and foremost, if there are some Gemini people out there who have a loved one who crossed over, maybe recently, I don't know. I feel like that person is pulling some strings for you somehow. So I just wanted to just get that message out of the way. The heart of the matter is the Page of Cups. This can be, this is a card connected to Pisces, so maybe there's a Pisces in your life that you are dealing with. Page of Cups can be a message about, a message of love that you receive. And if you have been dealing with someone, and by the way, we have the Mercury retrograde. Mercury is your ruler as the month of October begins. So there could be even somebody from the past who tries to connect with you. And if you have a history with this person that maybe wasn't all that pleasant, you may feel that you have completely forgiven them. It's like a blank slate. The Page of Cups is a very innocent energy, and you are just so happy to hear from them. You might hear about a child. So if you are a grandparent and you know, I mean, if you are somebody with an adult child and they contact you and tell you that they're expecting or that the baby has arrived. So it could be something about a child, a message from about a child. Or, you know, maybe you have a sibling that has given birth and now you're an aunt or an uncle for the first time. But anyway, something like that. And this is like the beginning stages of just a romantic, you know, there's something romantic about this. And I mean, when I say romantic, I should just say like emotional. So the beginning stages of something, or maybe even a creative project. In the past position, we have the Temperance card. This is connected to the sign of Sagittarius. Also, this is about balancing the spiritual and the material. And if you have, so another thing too is if you have started a business, for instance, that is a spiritual business that is combining the spiritual with the material, which is earning money, right? Or even if it's helping you physically, like if you have quit drinking, quit getting high, and you are, you know, starting to feel again. Sometimes, and people don't realize this, especially if it's something like pot or something like that, because people will say that they were using it to achieve a spiritual state, but then it just kind of turned into something very habitual and dependent. And so they may be feeling again. So even, you know, one of the things is that you can be doing something and then it kind of veers into a habit or an addiction, and you don't even realize it because it just maybe was very gradual. and it takes over, and then it affects you emotionally. And so I feel like there's this new emotional, it's like your emotions are birthed or something in October for whatever reason. And the new moon in whatchamacallit, maybe it has to do, I was just thinking of timing, if it's maybe the sun going into Scorpio, which is a water sign, for instance. And actually, in that particular case, if that's what's happening, that is your sixth house of work. But here's the thing. Libra is your fifth house, and that can be the business that you own. And there is going to be a new moon in Libra on the 6th of October. So this might be you starting your own heart-centered business, or maybe picking it up again, because this is the retrograde period. So it might not be so much that you're launching, but that you're relaunching something. And maybe the shutdown kept you closed, and you had to kind of just kind of lay low for a while. Now you're coming back up. I don't know, but very interesting. The higher message is the Star card. So this to me is about following your dreams and having your faith restored in life itself. So whether this is a person who has come into your life that is, or come back into your life, that has made you feel a sense of hope again, or if you receive some kind of sign that somebody that crossed over is really not gone. Maybe they're gone from the physical plane, but they're not gone from your life permanently. And that gives you a sense that you can do what you came here to do, because maybe you're even dedicating it to this person, depending on who it is. What crosses you is the Strength card. This card is connected to Leo, so if there's a problematic Leo in your life, maybe an ex. But the Strength card can be a feeling of lack of confidence. And, it's interesting because I remember one time getting I used to, long before I started doing these readings, I used to pick cards for myself. And I remember the first deck that I got at a used bookstore, and I didn't know anything about the tarot. And I just bought these cards, and sight unseen. And even back then, I had to keep looking at the book because I didn't memorize it. And I remember one time getting the Star card and reading, what it said, and then feeling this sense of almost like this relief, like that there was this synchronicity about me getting that card, because they were talking about, having that hope restored. And it's like, so when I see the Star card in that prominent place, I think about the person's, this is the spiritual lesson, is about this idea of never getting so jaded that you stop having hope. And it is about faith. And I also remember thinking the other day that faith, it just seemed like such a pie in the sky notion about faith. It just seems so uncertain. And fixed signs like Aquarius, even though Aquarius is so far reaching and stuff, you still may like guarantees in life. You may feel like you want to know that things are going to be a certain way. And when somebody dies, or when when you lose your job, or you have to make a major change in your life, like leaving a relationship, like getting sober or something like that, it can feel like you can't see the you that is going to emerge, that's going to be improved, the improved version of yourself. And the Strength card too, like if you have been dealing with an illness, and a physical illness, you may feel this sense of, I'm not going to get better, because maybe it's been sustained. And actually, if I read it as a challenge position, it can be like a compromised immune system, for instance. But the more that you can believe that there is some answer to this challenge, whether it's a health challenge, whether it's a self-esteem issue, the more that you will see this as coming to fruition. If you just write it off and say, nope, not going to happen, then yeah, it won't. And it can be something maybe even tied to somebody who passed away, that they had some kind of, maybe they had an illness, and you feel like that, if that like affected you physically even, you never know. I really believe that the mental, the emotional can affect the physical. But guess what? It works both ways. You can also get better too. And yeah, that's the other thing about the Temperance card too, I think, as well, is that you have to incorporate the spiritual when you're trying to help yourself physically. And what I mean by that is, I'm not just talking about health matters, but also with any kind of like emotional issues or even work situations. If you just like try to do everything on the material level, you might be able to make it, but I think you can have like a faster, better result if you incorporate the spiritual. And anyway, very interesting. Ooh, what's going on? And this is still recording. For some reason, it just kind of got weird on me. That's weird. I wonder what that's all about. What's coming in is a Chariot card, and this is a card of success. So if there's anything going on here that has made you feel vulnerable, doubting yourself, you can master it. And you may have a lot of stressors around you that make it seem like you can't do it, but you can. And really, to me, this is a card of one-pointedness, of ignoring the noise around you and really like focusing on whatever that thing is, whether you want to get better physically, whether you want to improve your sense of confidence because you feel like vulnerable. The Page of Cups is like being like a child, but sometimes that can mean that the person they may be very trusting in what is around them, but sometimes that can leave a person vulnerable because you don't know who to trust, and if you're trusting that, for instance, if you're starting a business and you're trusting that you're going to succeed, you want that backed up with the evidence. And really, with the Strength card, the confidence that we're talking about, you have to, it's kind of like, it's interesting because the Strength card is connected to Leo and the Star card is connected to Aquarius. And you have to, these are opposite signs, but they both deal with, even though they oppose one another, confidence within yourself. And then with the Star card, it's confidence that something that is not in the physical is still, waiting to be birthed. And that's, so the Star, Oh, yeah, and the Chariot card is connected to Cancer. I just wanted to mention that in case that's a person that is of assistance to you. I want to include that. And then the outcome card is the Ten of Pentacles, which is a great money card. The 10 is a card of attainment. And it's also a card of inheritance. So this could be like a family thing. So generational wealth. So something that you birth, if this is like a business that you birth, maybe not necessarily in October, but perhaps by the end of the month you might do it, that this is going to pay off in the long run. It's not going to be just a flash in the pan, that it has endurance. So it's very good for affluence. It's very good for generational wealth. And it's also an inheritance card, if that makes sense to some of you. Okay, that's what we have for, or that's what that's what I have for you, Gemini. I hope that you resonate with this. If you'd like a personal reading, I'm primarily an astrologer. I do tarot readings though too for personal personal tarot readings. But anyway, you can click on the link below for more information. I'm at RainaMoonAstrology.com. Take care.